Hey there, coin lovers, collectors, and everyone who's ever found spare change in the couch cushions. Welcome back to the channel where ordinary coins turn into extraordinary treasures. Today, we're diving into the world of American currency to take a closer look at a coin you might have passed by 100 times without even realizing its hidden value. That's right, we're talking about the United States quarter dollar from the year 1988. Now, before you toss it into a vending machine or drop it into a tip jar, you might want to hear this out, because that little coin could be worth far, far more than 25 cents. In fact, it might just be worth more than you ever thought a pocket-sized piece of metal could be. So, grab your magnifying glass, empty your piggy bank, and let's talk about why a 1988 quarter might be your unexpected ticket to something incredible. First, let's step back into the year 1988. It was a time of big hair, cassette tapes, and the final stretch of the Cold War. Ronald Reagan was finishing his second term as president, and the U.S. economy was booming. As the country was evolving, so too was its coinage. The 1988 quarter was part of the Washington Quarter series, which had been running since 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of America's first president, George Washington. Over the decades, this coin became a staple of American currency, familiar to everyone from children counting change to cashiers making change. But here's where things get interesting. While millions of these quarters were minted in 1988 at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, not all of them were created equal. Most were used daily, jostling in pockets and rattling in registers, but a few were different. A rare few hold secrets that even the U.S. Mint might not have anticipated. These include minting errors, die varieties, and condition grades that set them apart in the eyes of serious coin collectors. Let's talk about design. The front, or obverse, of the coin features the familiar profile of George Washington, stoic and proud, facing left. Above his head, the word Liberty stands strong, and beneath him lies the phrase, "In God We Trust." The date, 1988, sits at the bottom, anchoring the coin in its historical context. Flip the coin over, and you'll see the majestic image of an eagle with its wings spread wide, grasping a bundle of arrows, a symbol of strength and defense. Surrounding it are the words, United States of America, and quarter dollar, along with E pluribus unum, out of many, 1. At first glance, it's a coin you've probably handled 1,000 times. But look closer. Some of these 1988 quarters have incredibly subtle variations or imperfections that transform them into numismatic gems. Collectors seek out examples with double die obverse, where the inscriptions or image appear to be doubled due to a misalignment in the minting process. Others look for off-center strikes, where the coin's image is stamped slightly out of position, or clipped planchets, where a piece of the coin is literally missing due to a factory flaw. These are not defects, they're discoveries. Then there's the condition. Coins that have never been used in daily circulation and have been carefully preserved can receive high grades from professional grading services like the PCGS or NGC. The highest grade possible is Mint State 70, and quarters from 1988 that achieve anything close to this level of perfection are extremely rare. Even Mint State 65 or 66 examples are considered highly collectible, especially if they come with those special error features we just talked about. Why are these quarters so desirable? Well, it comes down to a few key things: rarity, condition, and collector demand. The rarer a coin is, the fewer examples exist. The better the condition, the more attractive it is to a collector. And when demand is high and supply is low, prices can soar. That's basic economics. But when it applies to coins, the results can be jaw-dropping. Imagine stumbling upon a coin that's been sitting untouched in a drawer for decades. Maybe it was part of your grandparents' change jar, or something you picked up at a garage sale without thinking twice. Now imagine that coin turning out to be something incredibly rare, something that makes professional collectors and auction houses sit up and take notice. It's happened before. And yes, it could happen again. You might be wondering right now, how much could a 1988 United States quarter really be worth? After all, it's just a quarter, right? A piece of everyday currency. Something you'd barely notice as you hand it over for a cup of coffee. Well, here's the truth. If you happen to own a 1988 quarter with the right combination of rarity, pristine condition, and mint error, your humble 25-cent coin could be worth an astonishing $45,000. That's right. $45,000. For a single quarter. So, the next time you're sorting through old change, remember, treasures aren't always hidden in locked chests or buried underground. Sometimes, they're right there in your hand, waiting to be discovered. If you're someone who loves hunting for treasures in the most unexpected places, or if you're just curious about what makes some coins worth a fortune while others stay stuck at face value, this video is for you. Today, we're focusing on a coin that millions of people have touched, traded, and forgotten. A coin that's so common, you probably have one rolling around in your car's cup holder or sitting quietly in a kitchen drawer. We're talking about the United States quarter dollar from the year 1994. But what if I told you that this ordinary-looking quarter might actually be something extraordinary? What if I told you that one of these coins, under the right conditions, could be worth a life-changing amount of money? You might be thinking, it's just a quarter, 25 cents. What could possibly be so special about it? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore today. Let's start with the basics. The 1994 quarter is part of the Washington Quarter series, a coin line that began way back in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. The design has become iconic, Washington's profile on the front, or obverse, with a calm and confident expression, facing left. The inscriptions, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the year, 1994, are all present, just like you'd expect. Now, turn the coin over to the reverse, and you'll see the majestic American bald eagle, wings spread wide, clutching a bundle of arrows, perched on an olive branch. The image has come to represent the strength and peace of the nation. Surrounding this powerful symbol are the words, United States of America, E pluribus unum, and, quarter dollar. At first glance, the 1994 quarter may not seem all that exciting. But here's where the story gets good. Because while the U.S. Mint produced millions of these coins at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, not all of them came out exactly the same. And that's where collectors start to pay attention. Some 1994 quarters contain striking errors or unique features that make them extremely rare, and extremely valuable. These can include off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, or even coins that were accidentally struck on the wrong metal planchet altogether. These types of minting errors can turn a simple coin into a jaw-dropping collector's item. Now let's talk about condition. Coin collectors are obsessed with one thing above all, preservation. The more pristine a coin is, the more desirable it becomes. Professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC will assign a coin a grade from 1 to 70, with 70 being an absolutely flawless specimen. Most quarters from 1994 have been through the ringer, scratched, tarnished, dented, and circulated into oblivion. But finding one that's still in brilliant, uncirculated condition? That's rare. And when rarity meets perfection, the value shoots through the roof. There's also the matter of provenance. Some coins are found in special government-issued mint sets. Others were saved by collectors from day one, kept in airtight capsules away from air, moisture, and fingerprints. These are the coins that, when rediscovered, often stun the numismatic world. And here's something a lot of people don't know. There are certain extremely low mintage trial strikes, coins that were never intended for general release, which somehow made it into circulation or ended up in private hands. A 1994 quarter with the right error or history behind it, especially in mint state, becomes a hot-ticket item at auctions, often sparking bidding wars among top-tier collectors. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that looks almost identical to the one you just used for laundry. But it's not just any quarter. It's a rare version, a perfect specimen, or an error coin that only a few people in the entire world possess. And it's worth more than a brand new luxury car. More than a year of college tuition. More than many people's annual salary. It's the kind of story that sounds too good to be true, until it isn't. Time and time again, we've seen coins sell for staggering prices. And one of the most thrilling parts about collecting is that these treasures are out there, hidden in plain sight. In old jars, forgotten wallets, inherited collections. Waiting for someone curious enough to look closer. So the question is, could you be the one to find it? Because, believe it or not, one of these humble 1994 $quarter coins, if it has the right mint error, the right condition, and the right story behind it, has sold for an unbelievable $75,000. That's right. $75,000. So don't underestimate the power of pocket change. Take a second look at that quarter before you spend it. You never know what you might be holding. Today's video might change the way you look at every coin you touch. Because hiding in plain sight, among the ordinary, is a small piece of metal that could be worth more than you'd ever expect. So buckle up, because we're diving deep into the story of the 1991 United States $quarter, a coin that many have overlooked, but few truly understand. Let's travel back to 1991, a year of transformation. The Cold War was ending, technology was evolving, and America was stepping into a new decade with confidence. But while all of that was happening, the U.S. Mint was quietly producing millions of quarters, unaware that one year's issue would later catch the attention of serious collectors and coin experts all over the world. Now, the 1991 Washington quarter may seem unremarkable at first glance. It features the same classic obverse design, George Washington's stoic profile, facing left. The word "Liberty" boldly above, "In God We Trust" etched to the left, and the mint year, 1991, at the bottom. It's a timeless look, one that millions of Americans grew up with. But don't let its familiarity fool you. Because this coin holds secrets, some of them extremely valuable. Flip the coin over, and you're greeted with the national emblem, the American bald eagle. Its wings are outstretched, perched above a bundle of arrows and olive branches. It's a powerful symbol of peace through strength, just like the country it represents. Surrounding the eagle are the inscriptions, United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and of course, $quarter. It's a coin that passed through countless hands in grocery stores, parking meters, and piggy banks across the country. But today, we're not just looking at an everyday coin, we're searching for the extraordinary ones that made it out of the mint with a rare twist of fate. Let's talk about what makes some 1991 quarters so valuable. First off, not all coins are created equal. While the U.S. Mint produced the 1991 quarter in huge quantities, both at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, there were some incredibly rare minting errors that occurred during this time. These errors, though accidental, turned a regular coin into a prized collector's item. Some 1991 quarters were struck off-center, resulting in a lopsided design where parts of Washington's face or the eagle's wings are missing. Others were double-struck, where the die hit the coin twice, creating a ghostly duplicate image. And then there are the infamous planchet errors, where a quarter was struck on a blank meant for a different coin, like a nickel or penny. These error coins are incredibly scarce, and when found in mint state condition, they can fetch unbelievable prices. Another factor that collectors obsess over. Condition. Most 1991 quarters have been through decades of circulation. They've been scratched, dropped, chipped, and worn down by time. But finding a 1991 quarter in near-perfect, uncirculated condition? That's a different story. Coins graded by professional grading services, like PCGS or NGC, with grades of MS 65 and above are extremely rare, and the better the condition, the more impressive the value. Now here's where things really get exciting. Imagine you're sorting through an old coin jar, and you stumble across a 1991 quarter that looks unusually sharp. Maybe the design seems doubled, or the edges look slightly off. Maybe the sound it makes when dropped is different. Could it be an error coin? Could it be uncirculated? Could it be one of the incredibly rare 1991 quarters that collectors around the world are hoping to find? And it's not just the errors that make this coin stand out. Even regular 1991 quarters, if preserved in exceptional condition, especially if they came from original mint sets and were never touched, have gained serious traction among collectors. Add in a unique backstory, such as being part of a misprinted roll or being found in a collection of historic U.S. currency, and the price goes even higher. This is what makes coin collecting so exciting. It's a hobby that blends history, art, and luck. It teaches us to pay attention to the little things. It reminds us that even in a drawer full of old change, there can be hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. Now, if you're still watching this video, here's your reward for sticking with us until the end. Because believe it or not, there is one version of the 1991 quarter, an incredibly rare error coin, struck under extraordinary circumstances, and preserved in a flawless, uncirculated state, that has been appraised and sold for a stunning $55,000. Yes, you heard that right. $55,000. So the next time you come across a 1991 quarter, take a closer look. Examine the edges, check the design, inspect the condition. It might just be the small, silver ticket to your next big discovery. If you loved this video and want to learn more about coins that could change your life, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out. Until next time, keep hunting, stay curious, and happy collecting.